I'm the monkey and you're not. 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 Hello everybody, I'm the monkey, and today we're gonna do something entirely different. That's right, instead of doing what we usually do, we're gonna go out and see the world. Yeah, we're gonna go find some mountains, and we're gonna go feed some ducks, and we're gonna go looking for dragons, and we're gonna see all kinds of things that we've never seen before. That's right, so here I am in front of the door, and we're gonna go outside and we're gonna go see what we can see. Okay, so here we go. Maybe we'll just stay here. You know, I sure hope that having your frog in your throat is never like crying wolf, which is another cliche. Also, you know, like, what if you actually really did have a frog in your throat? Or like if you had butterflies in your stomach. And then you go to the doctor and you're like, I have a frog in my throat, or I have some butterflies in my stomach. And then he doesn't believe you because that's just a cliche. But then if you actually do have it in there, and then they won't operate on you because it's like a giant cliche, well, that's a problem. I wonder how many cliches kill people every year. Like, I've got a frog in my throat, and then they never get the frog out, so then you die from frog throat sickness, or butterfly in your stomach sickness. This seems like a big problem. It sounds like cliches are bad for your health. Today's made-up story of the week is based on the word minatory. Minatory is a word that means threatening or menacing. Okay, so one time I had this boss at the waffle making factory, and he was very minatory. Yeah, because he was this big fat guy who always wore this big black coat to work. He was just that minatory. Yeah, and he used to hover over us while we were working, and he'd tell us that we weren't working fast enough and making enough waffles. Yeah, he used to hover over us, like literally, like this, because he had a jetpack. So he'd be sitting there and hovering over us, and then he'd be like, hey, monkey. And I'd be like, yeah? And he's like, do you see those waffles? And I'm like, nope. And he's like, that's because you're not working hard enough. And one time, when I just first started working there, I looked up at him while he was jetpack hovering over me, and I was like, hey, you know, this work could go a lot faster if you weren't standing there hovering over me. And he was all like, well, if you can't work under these conditions, then maybe you should just leave. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, if you don't get better at your job, even when I'm jetpack hovering over you, then you're gonna lose your waffle making license. And I didn't want that to happen, so I tried to get used to it. But one day, I just couldn't handle the smell of the jetpack fuel anymore, and so I left. And I was like, hey, big jetpack black coat boss man, I quit. And he's like, you're fired. And I'm like, no, I'm not, because I quit. And he's all like, well, give me your waffle making license. And I'm like, here it is. And so I went and got a pancake making license instead. And I went to work at the pancake factory. And then I had this other boss who was this really nice guy, and he wore a white coat. And because he was a white coat, yeah, and he wasn't very minatory at all.